Whether it's the festive season or your birthday, everyone loves getting a present for free, and that's why I'm going to be doing a hardcore Nuzlocke with Pokemon Emerald with only gift Pokemon. There are only a few gift Pokemon we can actually get in the base game, that being the starter, the fossil, and 2 other gift Pokemon. And then we get 1 during the post game, but that's even if we manage to beat the champion in the first place, with such a limited team. The rules are now on screen and in the description, and while you're down there, leave a like and a comment, and maybe even leave a gift in my Patreon. That was such a terrible segue, I'm so sorry, and without further ado, let's just get into the challenge. Picking our starter is a very important decision, since it's going to be our only Pokemon until the 4th gym badge, so optimization is key. That means we have to pick Mudkip, nicknaming it Mr. Beast for some reason. I don't know, maybe I recorded this during Team C's, but he has just done a load of wells in Africa, so that's more water. Mr. Beast, everyone. As I have showcased in another video that I made that you should definitely watch after this one, Mudkip is probably one of the best starter Pokemon to pick for getting through this game. And just watch as it goes through all of the gym trainers, hitting the level cap and facing the first gym leader. And the first 2 Geodudes are just 3 hits with Water Gun. And despite landing some critical hits on the following nose pass, its decent defense stats means it survives a few sprays, being healed with potions and berries in the process, but we do eventually take it down, getting the first badge, and with Mudkip hitting level 16, evolving into Marshtomp and learning Mudshot. Not a whole lot going on from now until the next gym. I just trained on Wild Poochyena on the first route to gain attack EVs, making our ground type moves a lot more powerful. The battle with Brawly is a pretty tough one with 3 strong physical attackers. Well, 2 because Meditite doesn't really like to do anything. I did lose this battle a few times because going in with a 1v3 and a level cap isn't always the best thing to do. I could have attached an Oranberry to Marshtomp, but I'm a dumbass. On my winning run, I got a critical hit on Makuhita, which allowed me to win the badge, but there is an even worse roadblock coming right ahead. The next gym is the Electric type one, but we don't have to worry about that. We've got the hardest rival battle in the franchise. After the whole Brawly debacle, I got some Oranberries, and in the end this battle cost me 5 attempts, and I only won because of a speed drop from Mudshot and a critical hit. That was the luckiest turn of events that we could have had, and that was honestly the only way I was ever going to win here. I possibly could have trained in special defense EVs, but we're 4 times weak to grass, so would it even mattered? And after all of that trouble I just had, we just get to face Watson, and after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mud shots, we get the win. Now for another easy gym, but not before getting a new team member at last. We've got quite a trek until the next key location, having to teach Rock Smash because I didn't allow myself to get a HM Mule at this stage. I probably should have at least had something to dump EXP into, because we are at a real risk of getting over the level cap after the Maxi battle. He wasn't too tough, and I could have made it easier if I didn't hinder myself with Rock Smash, but we still won. And after doing a few changes, I got to level cap and made it to Lava Ridge to get an egg. And what is in this egg? Oh, it's our next team member. Oh, why not? Yeah, it's not the best Pokemon to add to your team due to Wobbuffet being very situational, but I can finally have an EXP sponge so that I never have the level cap problem again. For the Flannery battle, she was flushed away by hashtag Team C's, well, more like hashtag Team Mudshot, because Sunny Day was lowering the power of our water type moves. But here at Super E123 Inc., we don't really care about the specifics because the comment section of any Pokemon video will let you know of the slightest detail you got wrong. Gym badge obtained. As the old phrase goes, like London buses, where you don't have anything for ages and then multiple turn up at once. I know I had to quickly explain that for my American audience. Well, that's how we are with team members, having to go to the Mirage Tower to get the fossil, picking up the Claw fossil, insert MDB joke here, and reviving it into an Anorith in Rustboro. Cradily was an absolute shithouse in my Emerald Grass type Nuzlocke, but we've got a Wobbuffet to fill in that role, and we need more attacking firepower, so I'm going with Armaldo. I think I was planning on watching Straight Outta Compton at the time, but I don't remember. I didn't in the end. But I have watched it before. Good movie. I trained it up on the first route like I did with Marshtomp getting attack EVs and some HP EVs which will soak into Wobbuffet. Going into the gym and Spinder could have been worse if it confused us, but it did very little damage. But Vigoroth will certainly do a lot more. I took that out, but Marshtomp is now down to 7 HP, so I swapped into the very underleveled Sponge, somehow surviving on 1 HP and landing a counter after Linoon hits us. Now we're in a bad spot with only Anorith on full health, and it's going to have to channel its inner Cradilly by doing a very simple little tactic: shithousery. We have to pivot between Protect and Harden on Slacking's attacking turns, and using Metal Claw on its loafing turns, praying for that 10% chance of an attack boost. It got pretty dicey, but with the help of an attack boost and a critical hit, we've defied the odds, and Anorith stands tall over Slacking and wins us the badge. And much like my last video, prehistory prevails. Before the next gym, we're going to get our last team member, and after getting some important TMs like Ice Beam from the abandoned ship, and getting dangerously close to the level cap via Team Aqua, we get a channel favourite, my first video, which was Cast Form, naming it after a teenage boy's favourite actress. This is going to be our designated special attacker since we have Marshtomp and Anorith as physical bros. Now we can have our last mandatory battle against the rival, hopefully never having to battle another grass type ever again. I know this Kecleon is a static spawn, not a gift, so I can't catch it. When making my way to a Lily Cove, I caught a Wingull just to use Fly. You walk from Lily Cove to Slateport for the submarine quest and see how you like it. I ain't dealing with that rubbish. We didn't teach Cast Form Ice Beam just yet, rather taking the Hail and Weather Ball strategy, which in hindsight is a stupid idea, but still relying on Wobbuffet's Mirror Coat to get past Tropius since it has Solar Beam, which I can't risk on any of my team. I probably could have used Weather Ball there if it used Sunny Day to become a Fire type move, and that would have also been really good for Skarmory, who is a pain in the backside with its really high defense stats, but we managed to get past it and got to Altaria, which, if it didn't use Dragon Dance, it would have beaten Cast Form without a doubt. I knew I should have taught Cast Form Ice Beam just to deal with this, but I was being a silly goose, and somehow got through it unscathed. Now we've got a very large level cap buffer, which is much needed for the team because we were starting to struggle a bit back there, which means we can finally evolve Marshtomp into Swampert and Anorith into Armaldo. The two beefy boys are ready to take on the rest of the game. The Maxi battle was a decent challenge, but with Wobbuffet still having to come in clutch at the end. The Team Aqua admin was a lot easier, but now for the big bad double boss battle, and luckily we have Swampert for this. I got my training to the level cap done and even gave Cast Form the Ice Beam TM, at last, but we really didn't need it. I set up the rain and had 2 water types on the field, also boosting the power of a water type Surf, which does get nerfed in double battles with its power being halved between the 2 opponents, but the rain should offset that. We got through what is without a doubt the hardest gym in the game, and another battle with the full team, which is great success. Borat impression! It's nice. I was very worried I'd lose a team member here, but it's nice. I'm gonna stop now. After battling alongside Steven, I had to teach Wampert Dive for story purposes, and took my anger out on Archie because of this. Why give me a contact water move before the physical special split? What's the point? It made me much happier seeing the best cutscene ever and the Waterfall HM. Still not a physical move, even though it does contact damage. And we get a chance to get the last gym badge after getting ourselves to the level cap once again. I taught Cast Form Thunder for this gym, because when you pair Thunder with Rain Dance, you get a 120 base power move that never misses. The hardest part of this battle was of course the Kingdra, who resists electric moves and practices its own high levels of Cradilly shithousery with Rest and Chesterberry, basically a free full restore. With Kingdra taking us to very low HP on all of our teammates, but who would have thought it would be Armaldo to get the winning hit? The one weak to water in this gym. We got the final gym badge, and now let's head to the finale of the game, where surely this deathless streak can't continue. Can it? After battling Wally, I made some changes to our movesets after reaching the level cap, of which you can see in the background, edging the team at the level cap. Will I be able to beat the Elite Four and the champion? Or will I lose any team members on the way? Let's find out. Starting with Sydney, and he leads my Tiana with Intimidate, but I kept Swampert in and just overpower it. Cacturne is 4 times super effective on Swampert, so that's a big ol' nope out of there as Armaldo gets the one shot. Groudon leads to another nope moment, swapping back into Swampert and cooking the crab. Shiftry has no grass moves, so Swampert can just stay in, getting an attack boost from Swagger, taking out Shiftry, and the following Absol with a critical hit. Great start. The Haunting Hawaiian, or the Abnormal Alolan, is next, and she leads with Dusclops, which is washed away with Surf. I decided to give Castform some screen time, setting up the rain and then the thunder, which does so much less than I hoped for, leading me to using Weather Ball and just one-shotting her next Bayonet and Sableye. The final Dusclops hits Swampert with Earthquake, but Swampert says, "Let me show you how it's really done," landing a critical hit and giving us 2 wins and 0 deaths. Since Thunder was extremely disappointing, I swapped it for the Thunderbolt. Surely this won't come back and hurt us for later. I'd rather have 2 turns of attacking rather than 1 rain set up and then 1 of attacking. Oh yeah, the Glacier battle, it was kind of interesting at the end. Until then, Swampert just kind of plods along with help from Armaldo, but Boba Fett was a big help to us versus the Wall Rain. We take some damage from Surf and Ice Beam, but Mirror Coat deals back double the damage, and the Citrus Berry keeping us alive and Wall Rain just out of healing range. This is why knowing your opponent is really important, because then you can just abuse Wobbuffet and win. Drake is last up on the docks, and his shell gun is an annoying little so-and-so with Protect and speed lowering Rock Tomb. But we just take it out with Swampert, and out comes Altaria, who was going to be a free shot, but it used Double Edge to weaken itself, so thank you very much. Kingdra is a big scary dude, as we have seen before, but we take it out with Return and Earthquake. Swampert is getting quite weak at this point though, so we have to swap into Castform, who can use a 4x super effective Ice Beam on Flygon. And sticking with the 4x super effective theme, Salamence comes out next. We hit the Ice Beam and Salamence survives in the red, but it gets frozen. But that obviously just prompts a full restore to sort that out really quickly, giving us another chance to attack, and the same result, in the red for Salamence. Now Castform can't outspeed, so I swap into Armaldo, which was silly because I completely forgot he has more full restores, which I could have abused, but I can't risk a team member at this stage. 2 rock moves from each side leave us both pretty low, but we survive on 11 HP after the second rock slide, landing an Ancient Power to beat the Elite Four section of the challenge deathless. But will we stay deathless at the champion battle? We get the perfect start as Wailord misses a blizzard and we 2-shot it with Swampert. And the good times keep on rolling as Ludicolo keeps boosting its evasion despite being hit with the never missing Aerial Ace. Gyarados is where things start to get a bit dicey. I swap into Castform, who just misses out on the one-shot with Thunderbolt. If only there was a stronger electric type move that I could have used! This prompts 2 full restores on Gyarados and the first loss of the challenge. Our most recent member in Castform, but a valuable one nonetheless. Even during No Nut November, Mia Khalifa will never be forgotten. Swampert takes a Hyper Beam and knocks Gyarados out, but is down to half health itself. Tentacruel lands a Hydro Pump on Swampert, taking it to only 8 HP, but one-shotting with an Earthquake. I have to swap into Armaldo against Whiscash, getting some good hits in, and with the help of the King's Rock, I got a flinch. But a Surf does take out our ancient amigo. Tragedy has struck twice! London buses, everyone. Now even the Americans will understand that. Swampert finishes the job, but we are basically down to a 1v1 with Melodic and Wobbuffet. I can't stop the poison with Safeguard in time, so now I just have to survive some Surfs just like the Glacier battle. It really does go down to the wire for this one, and that extra Citrus Berry does come in just in time to give us enough HP to survive a Surf and get off a final Mirror Coat, giving us the victory in the champion battle. And with that, I've beaten Pokemon Emerald with only gift Pokemon. 2 deaths, 2 survivors, but there's actually one more battle that we need to do before we can fully complete this video. The post-game gives us one final Pokemon to use it on our team, and it's Steven's very own Beldum. This is a fantastic Pokemon in its final form, which I trained mainly in attack, getting my 3 team members to the level cap of 75. Let's see if I can beat the final hurdle of this difficult run. Steven's Skarmory uses Spikes, which is a really bad tongue twister, which will harm us with the amount of switching that we're going to be doing on set mode. It's taken out with 2 Surfs, and Aggron is one-shot with Earthquake. Cradily comes out, and it's a first appearance for, oh yeah! The Metagross, who one-shots with Medium Ash. Oh yeah! Claydol comes in next, and I know it loves to use Screams and Earthquake, so I weaken it with Charm on Wobbuffet, one of its very few moves that's useful from a Wynot. This means Swampert can take less damage as it lands a crit to one-shot the Claydol. Steven's own Metagross is out, and we slam it with an Earthquake into the red. Swampert bosses a Psychic as another Earthquake takes out his ace, leaving just Armaldo. And I think we need to have a few lessons from Wallace, as Swampert Surf can not one-shot, but we can take out his last Pokemon no problem. And now I can officially say that I've beaten Pokemon Emerald with only gift Pokemon. In an extremely rare occurrence, I have actually beaten a Nuzlocke. Not a common occurrence at all, despite what my video history would have you believe. I honestly am quite bad at these, seeing as I have the 9-year-old brain of use attacking move, big move, damage good. Obviously Wobbuffet breaks that mold, and Swampert was without a doubt the MVP of this challenge. So what Nuzlocke would you like me to try next? Should I redeem myself with my poison type Nuzlocke in Fire Red Leaf Green? Leave those in the comments below, and while you're down there, hit like and subscribe, seeing as you've got this far in the video, so why not? I've also got a Patreon in the description, which would really be helpful for you to support me and my family through the whirlwind that is a full-time job, full-time parenting, and playing Pokemon for your entertainment. My name is Super123, and I will see you all in the next Pokemon challenge.